Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 2 of What Happens in the Neighbourhood. My name is Andrew, and I'm here with my very good friend Patience. How's it going, Patience? All good?
Happy Friday, Andrew. How are you doing?
Happy Friday. Yes, very good. Thank you all for the feedback from the very first episode, and it seems like it's done pretty well. What do you think, Patience?
I think that was a really good first episode. So, well, actually,
Nice.
shout out to you. You did amazing.
No, you did amazing.
No, we did amazing.
We did amazing, yes. And which brings us nicely on to what HiKinjo is all about, which is people being nice to each other. So we're all about that. So for the next 30 minutes, please sit down, relax, and listen to us discuss the things we love about the local communities across the United Kingdom. We believe in the power of neighbourhoods and the power of communities, and we think that during tough times such as these, we can get through anything when we pull together in the same direction. Without further ado, please let the soft, soothing sounds of episode 2 pour into your ears. Right, so we move on to news stories of the week. Patience, what's been going on this week in the UK?
I saw something interesting. So, somebody in who ran the Manchester Marathon got engaged at the finish line. That's quite romantic, isn't it?
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's did they say yes, first of all?
I think they did say yes. Yes, they did say yeah. Yes. So they've been together for 9 years. It's
Nice.
actually Miss Miller. They ran the whole marathon together, and she had no idea that her partner was gonna basically propose to her at the end of the line. That's why he was so adamant on like getting them to the finish line together,
Yeah.
and then pop the question after that at the finish time and say, will you marry me, I guess? And then yeah, and now she's engaged.
Nice, nice. Well, that's lovely news, and yeah, thank God she said yes because
I
that
know.
that would have been quite embarrassing otherwise. I
What would you
once
do if someone said no to you at the end of the line?
then
Yeah.
I'll probably run 26 miles backwards. Not literally backwards, but back. I once heard of a story of a couple going up in a hot air balloon, and the guy, it was a man and a woman, and the guy proposed whilst like 10
Yeah.
miles up in the air or whatever. And the lady
Wow.
unfortunately said no. So
Oh,
it
that's gonna
was
sting.
that's gonna sting. There's nowhere to go. It's really awkward. And plus there's a third person who is controlling the hot air balloon. It just must have been pretty
Yeah.
awkward, you know. So yeah, there you go. If you need any advice, never propose to anyone in a hot air balloon. That's my advice.
Mm-mm. Don't do it.
So yeah, what else has been going on? I know Eurovision is the big hot
Hmm.
news, big hot news going on at the
Yes.
moment. By the time this goes out, everyone will have known who the winner is. So it's very exciting. Are you a big fan of Eurovision?
I would say yes and no, as in like I watch it randomly. I don't anticipate for it really, but this year was interesting because May Muller announced the one that's representing the UK's this year Eurovision contest. She announced that she's going back to London school and basically talked a little bit about her career as well. So I thought that was interesting just to see people who like in the creative industry still try to go back to education and do their own thing as well. And I thought that was very, yeah, that was very interesting to see.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's nice that, she hasn't forgotten her roots. Just reading about Eurovision, I come across a story earlier where apparently a man bet his whole house on who would win the Eurovision a couple of
His
years ago.
whole house.
Yes, yeah, he's a professional gambler and he won. So yeah,
Oh my gosh,
that's
thank
good.
goodness it won. That's scary. Like you would have been homeless in 2 seconds if that didn't go well, I'm guessing.
Yes. Who do you think's going to win this year? Have you got your eye on any countries in particular? Or apart from England, we want England to win.
Um, so I would say maybe. Maybe France. I've seen a lot of French like creatives coming up recently, so maybe France
The
would be
French one's good.
one that
Yeah.
I'm like rooting for. Yeah. How about
I
you?
well, apparently the Sweden one is meant to
Hmm.
be the Sweden song is meant to be in with a chance of winning this year. Her
Okay.
name is Loreen. Apparently there's a
Yeah,
50
she's pretty good.
Loreen's pretty good. There's a 52% chance she will win. So yeah, either Sweden or Finland or Ukraine. Ukraine's new one is quite good as well.
Yeah,
So I don't think we're going to be as lucky this year, Old England. I think we may crash out. But there
I
you go.
think so as well.
There
Especially
you go.
after Brexit, it's been looking a little bit left. Well, we're
Yeah.
recovering.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So there you go. That's what's caught our eyes this week. That's what's been going on in news. And onwards we go. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part, which is the weekly quiz. We still need a name for the quiz if anyone's got any suggestions. So what I do every week, I will be asking patients 3 questions, all related to Britain. Last week on the first episode, you got 2 out of 3, which is pretty good. How
Hey,
do you think you're going to do this week?
I'm pretty confident I'm gonna do well this time.
Very cocky, very cocky. So
I
yes,
would like
we
to
will
call
see.
it confidence, but
Well,
we'll see.
yeah. And for anyone that's listening, this is quiz time, so please pick up your pencils or your pen or your typewriter or your keyboard and yeah, jot your answers down. Are you ready, patients?
Yes.
Okay, so just in case anyone can hear, there are a bunch of sirens going outside where I am recording, so hopefully nothing too dramatic has happened. And hopefully the building is not on fire. Um,
Fingers crossed. It's not.
Fingers crossed, because we've got a quiz to get through here. So here we go. Question number 1. No matter where you are in the UK, you won't ever be more than how many kilometres away from the sea? Is it A, 115 kilometres, B, 515 kilometres, or C, 75 kilometres?
I think it's the 150. Is that B?
No, A, 115. Is that your final
Yeah.
answer? And
Yes.
you would be correct.
Yay.
Okay, great. So that's 1 out of 3. You got correct. Moving on to question number 2. How many years did Queen Elizabeth II reign for? Was it 65 years and 214 days? Was it 70 years and 214 days? Or was it 75 years and 214 days?
I think it's the last one.
75 years and 214 days?
Yes.
That is incorrect, patients. The
Ooh.
correct answer is B, 70 years and 214 days.
Wow. That's a long
Ooh,
time.
it is a long time. Yes, yes. Okay, third and final question. In a nationwide BBC poll, who was voted the greatest Briton of all time? Was it A, Winston Churchill, B, Princess Diana, or C, David Beckham?
That's a hard one because oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say the one that I think everyone would think of first,
yeah.
but I don't want to take away from the other one because I love Princess Diana. She was great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Winston Churchill just because if you mention that name anywhere in Europe or in the world is similar to Princess Diana as well. That's why I have that bit of like, is it
Yeah.
Princess Diana or is it Winston Churchill? So I'm gonna go for Churchill.
For Churchill?
Yes.
That is A, and you would be correct. That is the correct answer. Winston Churchill was voted the greatest Briton of all time in a nationwide BBC poll. So wrapping up, you've got 2 out of 3, the same you got last week.
I know.
Are you-
I'm gonna improve next time.
We're gonna hope for a 3 out of 3 next time, but yeah. So
Yes.
so at the moment you've got 4 out of 6. Nice one. And for anyone listening, Let us know how you did. Let us know if you're currently beating Patience. And yeah, there we go. That's
Amazing. No cheating allowed. You can,
no
like
cheating
DM
allowed.
us on Instagram, on TikTok,
Yeah.
even on YouTube as well. We're there as well. On this next part, we're just going to discuss about HiKinjo and any interesting neighborhood stories that we have seen on the HiKinjo app. And yeah, and anything else that anyone is curious about. So we do recommend for anyone to send some questions every Wednesday that we can answer during our podcast that you might be curious about. But the last few weeks, we had a few questions, and one of the prominent ones was, what can I use HiKinjo for? And I'm gonna let you answer this one, Andrew. What can you use HiKinjo for?
You can use HiKinjo to earn money in your neighborhood or in your area. You can use HiKinjo to hire somebody locally. You can use HiKinjo to make friends and connect with people in the area.
Is that just anyone, or is it just your neighbors, your next door neighbor?
Anyone, as long as you're above the age of 16, you can sign up and whatever side hustle you have, you can promote if you're a hairdresser or you do a bit of plumbing.
So the next question that we got was that how do I find friends on HiKinjo? How do I make friends? So I do have a few tips on how you can, become friends with locals, like mine did as well. And the first one is honestly just be social. Post something that you're interested in doing, and then you'll get somebody that's within your area that will be interested in doing the same thing as well, whether that's going for a coffee, going
Mhm.
for a mocktail,
Hmm.
going for a hike. So I am going with a friend on a hike that I found on HiKinjo, and we've been friends since then. But next week we're actually going on a hike to Peak District,
Wow.
so that's going to be interesting. I'm excited about that as well. And then I've got a cocktail event because I love cocktails, especially mocktails as well. Hashtag Team Lightweight, and I will be basically hosting it, but not hosting at the same time. But pretty much HiKinjo will be hosting it for us, and then we're just gonna connect through the app itself. And I feel 100% safe, especially as a female. I get to connect with different people
Mhm.
and get to know other people that are interested in the same hobbies as I am. Especially when you're getting older, it's kind of hard to stay in touch with your old friends and then keep that relationship going on. So it's always nice to know that there's a place and space for me to make new friends, but also get to know other people from the start as well, which is really,
Mhm.
really exciting.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And it's a safe place for you to connect and to meet new people. And the fact that you've met somebody on the app and you
I
are
know.
going for a hike, it's really exciting. So yeah, that's exactly what we want. Moving on, it's the Chamber of British Legends. So, Patience, this is your bit where you can just sit back and relax and open up a can of something fizzy and enjoy. Last week we talked about Robin Hood for a bit. This week we are talking about another British legend, stroke myth. We're not entirely sure whether this is true or not, so Patience after, I would be interested in hearing whether you believe in this myth and legend. So here we go. This week we are focusing on the Loch Ness Monster. Now, the Loch Ness Monster, by name Nessie, is a large marine creature believed by some people to inhabit Loch Ness in Scotland. However, much of the alleged evidence supporting its existence has been discredited, and it is widely thought that the monster is a myth. Reports of a monster inhabiting Loch Ness date back to ancient times. Notably, local stone carvings depict a mysterious beast with flippers. The first written account appears in a 7th century biography of St. Columba. According to that work, in 565 AD, the monster bit a swimmer and was prepared to attack another man when Columba intervened, ordering the beast to go back, and over the centuries, only occasional sightings were reported. Many of these alleged encounters seemed inspired by Scottish folklore, which abounds with mythical water creatures. In 1933, the Loch Ness Monster's legend began to grow. At the time, a road adjacent to Loch Ness was finished, offering an unobstructed view of the lake. In April, a couple saw an enormous animal which they compared to a dragon or prehistoric monster, and after it crossed their car's path, it disappeared into the water. The incident was reported in a Scottish newspaper, and numerous sightings followed. In December 1933, the Daily Mail commissioned Marmaduke Wetherell, a big game hunter, to locate the sea serpent. Along the lake shores, he found large footprints that he believed belonged to a very powerful, soft-footed animal, about 20 feet long. However, upon closer inspection, zoologists at the Natural History Museum determined that the tracks were identical and made with an umbrella stand or ashtray that had a hippopotamus leg as a base. Wetherell's role in the hoax was unclear. The news only seemed to spur efforts to prove the monster's existence. In 1934, English physician Robert Kenneth Wilson photographed the alleged creature. The iconic image, known as the surgeon's photograph, appeared to show the monster's small head and neck. The Daily Mail printed the photograph, sparking an international sensation. Many speculated that the creature was a plesiosaur, a marine reptile that went extinct some 65.5 million years ago. And ever since then, the Loch Ness area has attracted numerous monster hunters. Over the years, several sonar explorations, notably in 1987 and 2003, were undertaken to locate the creature, but none were successful. In addition, numerous photographs allegedly showed the beast, but most were discredited as fakes of other animals or objects. Notably, in 1994, it was revealed that Wilson's photograph was a hoax, spearheaded by revenge-seeking Wetherell. Moving forward, in the early 21st century, it was thought that Loch Ness contributed to nearly 80 million annually to Scotland's economy. So there you go. It's a myth that remains ever popular. And what do you think, Patience? Have you heard of the Loch Ness Monster? Do you believe in it?
Yeah, I heard about it. So I lived in Scotland for quite some time, and that was like one of the legendary stories, especially like in Glasgow. And honestly, I thought it was real when I was a little kid, but now I think it's one of those things that probably existed at that time, and
Mm.
then over time it just became extinct.
Yeah.
Maybe they still live under the sea somewhere in Atlantis City, somewhere in Scotland. But I genuinely do believe like it probably existed at one point. It
Mm.
sound real. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I'd like to believe that it did exist and it still does exist. There's a part of me that wants to believe it's still with us, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. But
Mm-hmm.
I find it fascinating, really, really fascinating.
Yes.
Have you ever swam in Loch Ness?
Oh my gosh. No, I'm too scared. I think I'm too scared to even do it. But I would
Yeah,
love to go to it and see it.
yeah.
How about you?
No, never been there, and yeah, it's on my to-do list. So if I go there later this year, maybe I'll arrange it on HiKinjo and see who
Mm-hmm.
else is up that way, and we'll all go to Loch Ness and
That's exciting.
see if we can spot it. Yeah. Who knows? If I put my fishing rod in, I might be able to catch it.
Yeah, just put something on the hook that he likes and then,
That's it.
just
Has
come
anyone
through.
ever thought of doing that? Just fishing for the Loch Ness, putting a worm on the end of a hook, and throwing it in there? You never
I
know.
don't think so.
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so. You're the first.
Great. So yeah, join us next week for more Chamber of British Legends. next part of the podcast, we are going to be covering events happening in the UK. And yeah, Patience, what's going on?
Okay, so Gwen Stefani is going to be in UK in June on June 23rd,
Nice.
24th with Pink and then 25th with Pink as well, which is really exciting because I grew up listening to her songs and I love
Yeah,
it. She was always such a character back in like early 2000s with
yeah,
her collaborations with Eve, with like just a lot of artists as well. So I don't
fantastic.
think I'm gonna catch it, but it's definitely an exciting event in June. So another one that we have is on the 29th of May. We've got the City Splash Festival, which is one of the biggest festivals with like artists in reggae, dancehall, and Afrobeats. So we're gonna have Ira Star, Shensia, and Coffee as well. If I remember correctly, she's gonna be on the panel as well, but they've got lots and lots of like artists within the African Caribbean community, which means there's going to be a lot of food stands as well, which are going to be really, really good. So I am
Nice.
considering going to that one. If I do, I'll definitely share that on HiKinjo and see who's going to come with me to the event.
Yeah, fantastic. The 16th of June, Tenacious D are playing at the O2 in London. Now, do you know Tenacious
Wow.
D?
Yes, I do.
Jack Black. Yes, incredibly funny and brilliant. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and on the 2nd of June, one of my favourite artists, somebody called John Cooper Clarke, is playing in Bath. Now, if you don't know John Cooper Clarke, he is a punk poet. He's like a spoken word kind of poet fella. And he's from Manchester or up north somewhere, maybe Sheffield. And yeah, he's very good. And I highly recommend him. And yes, and who? Oh yes, Sam Fender is playing in Newcastle on the 9th of June. Do you like Sam Fender, or do you know Sam
I,
Fender?
no, I don't.
Oh,
That's embarrassing. I don't.
but you're like the hip young thing, and Sam Fender
I
is hip and
know.
young as well, and he's very good. Yeah, I saw him last year support the Rolling Stones, and
Wait,
yeah,
it seems like you're more trendy than I am then. That's
no, no, don't worry, I'm definitely not. But yeah, that's what's going on in June. If anyone has been to any events this week or is looking for someone to go to an event with or to join them at an event, then please log on to the app and let us know. And yeah, post it up on the app. So we're coming to the end of episode 2 now, and there's only one thing left to do, Patience, and that is go over some good and happy and positive news stories that have happened over the past couple of weeks. Have you found any? Please tell me you have.
yes, I have. So
Yes.
Everest Climb Boy reached 29K fundraising goal. A boy who has been climbing to the equivalent of Mountain Everest in aid of the child hospice has reached his funding goal of 29,000. His 6-year-old Oscar from Lancaster and has ascended one of the top 10 of the UK's highest peaks to help Charlie, sorry if I pronounced this incorrectly, Darien House.
Okay.
And he's needed he's needed to more to march Everest, which is about 29,030 feet, which is 8,849 meters in height.
Wow.
And yeah, he's only 6 years old, so that's amazing. He took the challenge, raised the
6 years
money,
old.
and
6 years
6 years
old.
old.
The only
Yes.
thing I did at 6 was I accidentally got a Lego man's head stuck up my nose, and I had to go to hospital to get it removed. That's what I was doing at 6 years old, and this boy is climbing Mount Everest. They
But
are.
yeah, I'm speechless. But that's awesome though.
Well,
But
that's fantastic. One of the main stories I found this week was that an international study of people on 5 continents has found that humans help each other with small things about every 2 minutes. And that's some fantastic good news.
I love
What,
that. That's
what,
amazing.
When was the last time you helped somebody, Patience?
Today
And what did you do to help?
I said hi.
You said hi. Fantastic. That's all you need to do sometimes. Well, thank you for
No,
joining.
no, no.
Well, thank you for joining us for episode 2, and we really hope you enjoyed it. And we will catch you on episode 3 next week. Stay safe
All
and
right.
be good to each other.
Bye, guys. See you next episode. Bye.